Is there something you enjoy watching or reading every year? You just have to read it at least once a year or watch it once a year. You have it practically memorized, and yet you want to watch it again. It's just that comfort show. That show or that book or even that movie that just makes you feel better when you watch it. And so you just watch it or read it at least once a year. Well, the truth is, I have games like that. Every year I go out and I play a little bit of Tony Hawk, or just the first three anyway, and just enjoy it. I've got the levels memorized, I know what I'm doing, and I complete it for every single character every single year. And it lasts me, about a month, and I enjoy it. The Tony Hawk series can be based on a couple games as inspiration. The first one that I really want to mention is Stunt Race FX, which has a racing style and also a great sense of half pipes, and there's even levels in it where you can just kind of run around and do tricks. The controls are based on Super Nintendo games where the bottom button was used for jump, the two side buttons are used for special maneuvers, and the top button was used for a special relationship. Each one of these games would be a great basis for the system. The style of the game was based on Mario 64, which was pretty much the introduction to open-world level design. You basically ran around, jumped, and tried to get special stuff as you moved around. Of course, skateboarding itself was an inspiration. They chose out great skateboarders. They had somebody who was a major skateboarder, Tony Hawk, go out and find people that wanted to be in the game. There was a lot of inspiration and ideals that were pushed onto it so that it could feel like a real skate game. The engine itself was actually for a shooting game that starred Bruce Willis. The company that made it, Neversoft, just happened to make this game, so they just used what they had. The games get released every console generation. The best so far has either been Tony Hawk 2X, as you see here, or the Dreamcast editions, which had faster load times and a little bit more swift feel. Either way, these were the top to play. However, that didn't mean that there were other editions. There was Tony Hawk HD, which was a mishmash of various levels, but not the complete game. And let me just say, it wasn't the greatest. There was a lot of slowdown, and there was kind of a difficulty to get things accomplished because you never knew where you were actually going to land, or if something was actually going to get completed. It was also kind of ugly, kind of brown, Didn't quite have the character that the previous games that they were based on had. So it wasn't the greatest. There was also, how do I say this, some good stuff. Like, if you wanted to redo a level, it would let you. It would let you complete everything with the same character over and over again, which you couldn't do in the previous games. So it did have some good ideas, but they weren't really worth it. The game just wasn't up to snuff, honestly. So for the PS4, they decided to make another remake of the levels. This one would be a complete remake. Every single level is included. The graphics are updated. So it looks really nice. All these new characters. Oh, this looks amazing. Except for one thing. How does it control? How does it play? The truth be told, the last version, the last time they tried to do this, it failed because it didn't control right. It didn't feel right. And would it be that way again? Vicarious Visions, who made it, have a lot of good games that they've made, including Tony Hawk editions. So it was a real question about what would happen next. So the new game comes out, and it plays really well. It feels like a Tony Hawk game. The controls work, there's a bit more smoothness to everything, and for the most part, it plays well. However, there are some dingling parts. For example, I can't quite hit certain ledges, and there are some moments where I can't hit things the way I want. Hopefully those are fixed. Everything else is doing well. Also, it's gorgeous. There's a lot of good lighting, a lot of good ways to notice where you are. They've gone and put in better videos. All the cool things that you saw from Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 or 2 is still there. It's just great. And I kind of enjoy how it looks and how it feels. So I've got to give it a good recommendation. They've even added details that just creep me out. The mannequins in the mall, they just pop up, and it just kind of freaks you out that they're there. It also has a way to play every single level to try to get all of the goals in one try over and over again. It's called, oh, I forget what it's called, but it doesn't really matter. It's there, and you're trying to get it as fast as you can, which means you can play this level as often as you want to figure out what you need to do, and then do it with another character, and then do that with another character. You can just keep going, which means a lot of replayability and enjoyability. The biggest problem I've got is I can't keep up with the bigger fans, the people who can do this in 23 seconds. I feel kind of embarrassed even showing you this footage. By the way, my controls are terrible because I'm aiming a camera at my screen and it's in my way. So that's why I'm acting really badly. The remake thing can be really hit or miss, even for the same game. Like in Final Fantasy VII, there's a lot of hit, but as soon as you start hitting the miss, it's just not enjoyable. Like the graphics are amazing, but after a while you get tired of the videos and the constant, will I make it, and the battling isn't the greatest, especially against bosses. You're just kind of running around, slashing your sword, like it's Final Fight or something. So I'm enjoying the new Tony Hawk. It basically lives up to everything needed. I've got some problems. I think the downhill level needs to be redone. There's just parts that I simply can't accomplish, even if I cheated. So, I'm enjoying it, but I've got to admit, there's some other games on my list of things I play every year, that I'm going to compete with it. The next game on that list, well, I'll talk about that tomorrow. Catch you later.